Good evening. Welcome back to Play the Hits. This is Max at the helm of Crystalis, and what is absolutely going to be our last episode of this.
You're calling
If
it
I have
now.
anything to do with
Absolutely,
it,
yeah.
definitely. I mean, I've practiced a little bit to make sure I'm not going to suck, and something I realized, which is so obvious. One, this shield ring, which I've had forever, like raises your defense crazy, and it does a hell of a lot better in boss fights than the ability to jump.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's gonna help a lot.
Though $20 says you're gonna like hit jump just out of pure reflex.
Yeah, probably, but I'm gonna make sure I got my barrier. Okay.
Nice.
For this guy, that's really all I need.
Did you practice on this motherfucker?
Yeah, I did a little bit. I can usually do it without getting hit,
Huh.
which is terrible. I just kind of hide down here.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. For real.
No, he'll still come down.
That's hilarious, though. God, I love that spread shot.
Ugh. Now, if I get hit by that, that's like turns me into a monster, and I'm kind of screwed for the rest of the battle. I've never known. I don't think you can do anything about getting turned into a monster other than leaving a room, which in this boss fight is not an option.
Dude, I kind of call horse shit on this. Did SNK, like, expect a bunch of fucking 7-year-olds to, like, beat this without save stating?
Oh, my magic's too low. That's okay.
And now you pay.
Okay, well, hopefully
my God.
I can get out of this predicament.
You have got to be kidding me.
I hope. This has never happened to me before.
This is how you beat the final boss.
You know what, though? You can get out of this as long as you get out of a room. You change the scene and you're good. So, and thankfully these turn off. So,
oh, nice.
I just gotta wiggle my way.
So you just gotta like
a fucking
crawl
amoeba.
your way back to civilization.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right, let's see.
It's nice that they have the courtesy to at least cancel it between screens.
Right. Let's see. Well, now we are gonna put the rabbit boots on.
Oh, there you go. That's right, because you can cheese it.
Oh. And I cheese it, I will. So how you doing?
Not too shabby. I've been playing a hell of a lot of the FF7 remake.
Oh my god, yeah. I have not a whole lot. I did actually just today played a little bit, and now I'm not too far. Maybe
where are you?
2 hours. I'm like doing water filters to get money.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess
You're side questing. Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah, it's the main quest, but it's so
okay.
They basically use that quest to introduce you to the side quests.
Okay, gotcha. Which
Yeah.
I figured that was how it was going to be coming up. So
It's actually got a really nice side quest system. I like it a lot.
that's cool. And yeah, I figured they would add something like that. But yeah, I figure, you know what? If there was going to be any place for side quests in this game, it would be Midgar. So
It's
yeah.
kind of similar to FF15's, in kind of like the structure of it. But they have you do a lot more than just like find and kill this monster. Though that is a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like if we're going to talk about 7, we should like begin the episode or something with our text message exchange, which is like two people who really care about this game. You know, this is how we talk. But
like more than is probably healthy for a 33-year-old man, you know, with a wife and kids. I'm like super invested in it though. Like
oh yeah.
I love the game. I you know, even though it wasn't my favorite, I still really love the story of the original. And basically, you know, like nothing that we've talked about on this channel regarding the game, even though now it's out and we're playing it, has changed. Like, I love the art direction, I love the combat, I love the graphics, I love the way that they're fleshing out the world. I just have a really bad feeling, like in the pit of my stomach, about the fucking Watchmen of Fate. Like,
I think
so far the only
you and I
parts
are
of the
one
game,
mind on this so far.
yeah, the only parts of the game that I have not enjoyed so far have specifically involved when they show up, because it's so tonally different from everything else that's going on. And I mean, you heard what I said a little bit about Sephiroth. It's kind of, I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit by having him play too big of a role too early, but I get why they did it. I get why they did it.
They have their reasons, which is like, one, I mean, money, and two, I think they're thinking this is, you know, what the fans want, which is probably true for a lot of them. You know, so they think they're serving them that way.
Otherwise, they'd have to go an entire game without the main villain ever really making an appearance. But I think they could
at the very end, I guess.
Right. And I think that would have been better. I think that would have been better than having him show up the way he did, like, in the first half hour of the game.
Yeah, which was, you know, the first time I saw it was definitely a surprise factor. It's like, oh, okay, they're just gonna. It's not even gonna be like a flash in his mind.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
he's
literally
just straight
gonna
up
be
there,
talking
and
with
he's
him.
like taunting him, and yeah.
Yeah, which is like I get why that's as far as the whole, you know, Genova cells and everything. It's like, okay, so obviously that can happen,
right?
But yeah, I feel like not just with Sephiroth, there's a lot of things that they're kind of.
Oh yeah, they're bringing in a lot of the like main plot beats like super early.
Yeah, that's kind of one of my main issues with the game is I feel like they're kind of blowing their load on things pretty quickly.
They are.
You know,
like there's no subtlety to it. There's no like dramatic build-up. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm criticizing it, but so far I'm enjoying it. But if I have a complaint about the story, it's like for a game that intends to draw out and expand upon like a relatively small portion of the game, boy, they are making a lot of leaps and a lot of jumps super early, which is kind of funny because when you get to the slums about where you are right now, there the game actually does slow down a tremendous amount, and I really love it. Like my favorite portion of the game so far has been like getting introduced to the Sector 7 slums and getting to know Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse a little better. I mean, that's all been really good.
Which is something legitimate that it's cool that they're going to add that, you know, that you could say was missing from the first game, which is like, okay, you know, that's something that I don't mind at all.
Oh, absolutely. I think they did a brilliant job.
Yeah, but it seems like in so many ways that they are just like, I mean, one with Sephiroth, that's kind of the main thing.
Oh, yeah, that scene where he's like molesting Eris and,
I told you this, that it's just like, he put his hand on her shoulder, it's like, fucking really? Like he's marking her or something. It's like, okay, real subtle square.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm not gonna kill her. Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah.
But then the fucking Watchmen of Fate show up for that scene, too, and like, so, I texted you about this a little bit, like, that scene I really thought was shitty. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the scenes where they've kind of stuck to the original narrative pretty closely or expanded on it, I've really loved. Like, the whole Mako reactor sequence was awesome. Like, they could not have done that any better.
That was really awesome. It was just a spectacle. And yeah, I love that.
The train sequence afterwards, when you finally do get on the train, that was really cool. That really gave me the nostalgia feel, because like the train was so atmospheric, and like seeing the map with Jesse again, like that was just that brought me right back to '97. But and
the music that they're doing with it,
like, oh my god, the music is so perfect. Holy shit,
it's awesome.
But man,
I
if
do
they
think,
did not
as far as
blow
like
that scene
blowing their load early, like there is the fact that they're doing the world map theme. Yeah, like when you're getting into the town and everything, which is like I love that too. It sounds
they found
really
a way
good.
to incorporate it, and I like it.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like that was a big part of the first game when you like first get out into the world, and it's like this big thing, and the music swells after like 5 minutes of listening to it. But at the same time,
I can see
if you have this game and don't have that song at all, that'd be weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, I totally get that.
Right.
So,
but at the same time, though, you're right. It's in my mind, that's the world map theme. That's not the Midgar. So what made that contrast so well with Midgar was like Midgar is this like dark, depressing, moody place, and so you had like the really slow-paced music, like the dun 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 dun, and then you get out in the field and it's dun 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 dun. You know, it's way more optimistic.
A lot of theming with their music for sure.
But to include that in the slums, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I guess it kind of lends itself to like the people who are like persevering even though they're living in this like really kind of squalid place, and oh my god, though, like even though it is like very kind of bleak looking, they rendered Midgar beautifully.
Oh my god,
shit. Like
I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, right. I did that. I totally did that. I was like, oh yeah, how are they gonna make this look? And it was like, wow, I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, they absolutely shut me up on that one. So like when you come out and you like actually, so that's something that they couldn't really do with the pre-rendered backgrounds, was like really convey the sense of scale of Midgar. And so like when you step out of Cloud's like rented room for the first time and you see like the slums right below you and the plate like 1,000 feet above you. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nuts. And I gotta say, like you said, the slums, they're slums. You know, they could be, just by definition, they're kind of like drab and lifeless and stuff, but there's so much personality that they put into
oh my gosh,
what I've seen so far.
It's like people are actually living there.
Like and like color and stuff, which it actually makes sense how they're doing it now.
Like everything is muted, but it pops.
It's like the world of FF15 is this big open world with all these, what's supposed to be these varied towns, and so far the first couple hours of FF7 has shown a lot more personality than that game. You know, not to again shit on FF15.
No, but you're right. They crafted a big, open, beautiful world, and then they forgot to populate it in any meaningful way.
Yeah, and this game feels
the opposite,
very populated and alive for sure.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a smaller scale environment, but it's so much more dense and packed.
Yeah, something that I wish they would add as an option, the audio options, is if you could. There we go. If you could, I love this, by the way. This is one of the best things in the game. Is you don't have to charge the level 1
real?
attack. Yeah,
that's amazing.
The warrior ring I just got, it's awesome. You can only equip one thing at a time, but this helps.
But that's staying on for a while. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
My one gripe about like the audio is I wish you could. There we go. I wish you could.
Nothing is a challenge.
Right. I wish you could lower, if there was something, because there's like and now I'm kind of unstoppable.
Now you're unstoppable.
Okay, yeah, let's check this out. Here we go. So 3939 shield and armor, and boom. Yeah.
Oh, that'll do.
And it doesn't show you this, but I'm immune to paralysis and curse, and I feel like something else, not poison, because I know I can.
Poison would be great,
but poison would be great, but yeah. So, and of course, at this point of the game, everything can poison you. That's like the one thing they decide to keep in there. So, yeah, it's kind of a fuck you, even if you get the Psycho Shield. But
question: as we go back into the FF7 discussion, did you get to the part yet where you see the guy who lives next to Cloud?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
So my theory about the Watchmen being the Sephiroth people was incorrect, which kind of makes me even more mad. So,
did we talk about that? You had that was one of your theories?
That was one of my theories. So my thoughts were they were either the hooded guys who in the original game didn't have names. They were just failed Sephiroth clones that were trying to get to the reunion, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I originally thought they might be. And they just gave them a bigger role or something, but that's clearly not the case. So now my working theory is that they're like a personification of the life stream, but I'm not quite sure about that either because they seem awfully aggressive. So I like the
idea of what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
As far as that would redeem them a lot in my eyes if you're right about that.
But I'm not sure about that. So there's one other scene. Relatively early. In fact, you're about to hit it. Where they've shown up so far, where I am. I'm actually in the train tunnels on the way to the second reactor.
The second reactor.
Yeah. So okay. I'm not super far either. But they show up again once before that, and every time, like I said, so far in both scenes that they've been in, they completely like fuck up the tension and the flow and
from the original scene.
And but not only that though, but even in this game, it seems completely detached and like in stark contrast to everything else that's going on. Like, so the story is really like kind of slow paced and methodical, and it does a lot of world building and character building, and then these things show up. It's just like a fucking episode of Ghostbusters, and like and you know they don't fit Tony. Like Sephiroth, for all of like his like haunting Cloud and everything like that, he is a fairly grounded villain. I mean, like he's not a god, right? Like he wants to be, but these things just seem like so out there and otherworldly. Like they don't mesh well with the established canon, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It's like what can you do against these things right now? Like you're so I mean, I know it's not like you can take care of Sephiroth whenever you want, but it's kind of like these things just stop the show. Like, what the fuck can you do? You know?
Yeah. And like, I'm sure like you'll hear a little bit more about him when you get to meet Aeris and you kind of figure out what they are. But it's such a deviation and like not a welcome one as far as I'm concerned. It just doesn't. You know, the plot was already crowded enough, and now you're adding like these otherworldly specters that, you know, I'm really concerned at this point that in the eyes of the team that remade this game, like these are the real villains. And because like so far that's the reason that Sephiroth is being introduced so early. I'm a little worried that he's not the main threat. These things are. Yeah.
And so far, that's kind of the tension. Like, that's how it feels.
Yeah, and
a little
like
bit.
That.
Not that he's not
really,
a threat.
like, it not only does it not mesh well with the canon, it kind of undermines the whole existing canon. So, yeah.
It's also like from the very beginning. It's like, why are you even worried about Shinra? You know, it's
right. Yeah, like, why would I be worried about Shinra or Sephiroth when there's these like invisible gods that are, you know, tearing everything apart around us, and like Cloud and Aeris are the only one who can see. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. So, I don't know. My hope is that they're kind of there to up the stakes on the Midgar tension, and they'll somehow do away with them by the end of this first chapter, I guess. But I doubt it.
Yeah, me too. And as far as like the Shinra Corporation and like what you're doing with that, I mean, from Cloud's point of view, you always knew there was wow, really? They're not going to give me crap for the battle armor?
Oh wow.
Give me 3,000 for the Sacred Shield.
It's like, fuck you, you get nothing.
Let's sell all my stuff, make way for magic rings. Let's see. Fruit of Lime, don't need.
I don't think I've ever seen you use the bow and arrow.
These? Yeah, you can't.
Oh.
You don't shoot any arrows, unfortunately.
They're just there for looks.
Basically, yeah. Fruit of Repun I don't need. Think that's hold on. Magic, fruit of power. Okay, I'm good. Let's get out of here.
But yeah, so like even though I've only seen them twice, maybe it's just me like being an old man and like I don't like change, but I don't like it. I just don't
and I
like
get it, and I don't see myself liking it. Again, if it's something like, hey, this is how they're deciding to put in the voices of the planets, and this is, you know, what
that would be fine. I would be more than down for that.
Because in the original game, it's just like, I can hear them from a kid. Yeah. Then I'd be like, okay, it's a little bit of a twist.
Well,
like,
and they also didn't make her a crazy person. Like, you know, literally the first. Going back to that scene again, like that was a really great scene because you've just walked away from an explosion, right? There's guards on your tail, but there's like this quiet moment of serenity where Cloud has like a destiny-changing interaction with this random girl on the street, and she gives him a flower, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just like this really like stark contrast to like the chaos going on around you. And then you kind of like jump back in. The guards are on Cloud's trail again, and he jumps the train, but you know, that was the first meeting with Aeris, and you wouldn't realize its significance until later. But
it's
now,
pacing.
Yeah,
it's good pacing.
Right, but now, you know, Sephiroth is threatening to molest her, and she's waving her arms around like a crazy person. Time stops for a second, and these ghost heads start flying around you. It's I really thought they botched that scene bad.
Yeah,
you know,
like you said, like a bull running through a china shop. That for sure. It is supposed to be like talking about pacing. It's a nice little quiet respite, you know, for a little bit after this big bombing, and then it's right back into it, you know, right back into the action. But it's it made sense, you know. And now with this, it's like, sure, it makes sense, you know, but it's just constant action, you know, and that there's like, oh, here's another crazy thing that's happening, and there's too many plates spinning. It feels like, you know, where in the original. Totally it was a slow burn.
You know, it's
kind of... And now it's almost like, we don't know if there's going to be another game after this, so let's just... Sephiroth's here, and now these Watchmen of Fate are here, and it's just like, well, who gives a shit about Shinra? I keep going back to
what the hell even is Shinra?
They don't feel like a threat, and that's supposed to be the main thing, at least to the player's eyes. I know Cloud's dealing with his own shit,
and that was
but
the
you're not supposed to really know that.
for the first like 5 to 10 hours of the game, you straight up like just assume this was a battle between you and Shinra. Like, you know,
It's typical Final Fantasy fare.
Yeah.
They're like the Empire in this game.
There was something else there, but you didn't quite know what it was or how it related to Shinra. And then when Sephiroth finally appears, that was a huge reveal because like what you thought was the conflict of the game turned out not to be.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. And, oh shit, I had something else to say about that. Something about the Watchmen. Oh, so like, I don't know, what's a good way to like explain this? You know how like, with Trump, right, you have like the like wild, outlandish, stupid shit that he says, and then you have like the spin doctors, right? The guys who get on TV and try to make sense or like present what he said in a way that's not, you know, a child lashing out against
people that smooth it over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's what's going on with this game. So, like, you get the fucking Watchmen of Fate, and none of that makes sense, and none of it meshes well. But then you get, like, and I kind of get the feeling that's Tetsuya Nomura. Like, he has, like, this grand vision of the Watchmen of Fate, and, like, all this other, like, secret behind-the-scenes stuff that you finally get to see, and it doesn't mesh well with the universe. But then you have, like, the team of artists and scenario directors and everything like that, and they like really, you know, because it is the original FF7 team, and for the original FF7, Nomura didn't have any say in the story. He was just a character artist. So these guys are like, you know, oh, so remember in 1997 when we made this scene? Well, I've always wanted to, you know, like expand on this character, and I always wanted to give Jesse and Wedge more of an arc, and I always wanted to see more of the slums and things like, and, you know, they're still going at that pace. They're like, let's just build on the established universe. So the scenes where they're in charge, and you know, Nomura is just working on like the big flashy set pieces in the main scenario, like that stuff is all really good because that's the original team, and all that they're doing is just, you know, adding on to what they were doing in 97. Whereas I think Nomura wants a completely new and different experience starring the same characters.
Yeah.
Like he wants to make a sequel, they want to do a remake.
Yeah. And I'm not saying they can't change things. Like, it's a remake. Yeah, if it's, you know, if I were doing it, I probably wouldn't change much, and I would just more modernize things, add on to things. If you're going to lengthen the game, add on to things that make sense. Like you said, like getting a little bit more into Avalanche and those relationships with like Wedge, Biggs, and Jesse.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, cool. But yeah, I would like, as far as the dialogue and as far as the story beats, like maybe modernize it so it kind of makes sense for today, and or, you know, if you wanted to,
which again, improve. Where they're doing that is it's really good. Like the translation is phenomenal. Oh yeah,
and things that might not even, I don't know, make sense. Like obviously they're not going to say like, oh, hold X to run or anything like that. But like even just the bombing mission, you know, and you know I'm not too far. That's like kind of the biggest thing that's happened so far, and I love the dialogue. A lot of it is different.
Yeah.
The ideas behind it, you know, like hey, just give me my money. I'm not interested in this otherwise, and you could see Barrett's passion for the planet.
Nice.
Okay, I'm maxed out.
You have maxed
and
out.
I got a lot of money, so let's wait.
And I'm rolling in money.
I think I'm good. I'm gonna keep that space open, but
yeah,
I'll leave this on. Yeah, so you can see like the ideas behind it, even though the dialogue's pretty different, is the same. You know, you can see and the characters that they are kind of shining through. You know, cool.
See, I'm with you. I don't mind whatever they want to change, as long as like the essence is the same. As long as I'm still seeing, you know, the world, the story, and the characters that, you know, I loved and enjoyed 23 years ago. That's just fine. But like a group of mysterious boogeymen that can like actively unravel the plot and like, you know, basically say that everything that happened in 1997, that wasn't the real story. This is the real story. I'm not down for that. I'm just not. No. Which, you know, is kind of the direction I feel like they're moving with them. I don't know why. I've gone to like really great lengths to avoid spoilers. Like anytime like I even see like a picture of Cloud or an article or something like that, I just skim right past. So far, like I don't know what they've ended up doing. I do know, like, what's giving me encouragement is that by and large, like, the reviews from like fans and newcomers alike seem to be pretty glowing. So I'm hoping it's not too tremendous of a departure, but then, like I said, the people who are fans of FF7 today may not remember it quite the same way you and I do, right? Like, because they're coming at it from, like, Crisis Core and Advent Children and, like, kind of the expanded universe lore, whereas I just want to, you know, relive a fucking piece of my childhood in one...
Yeah, I really hope they don't make any kind of allusions to, like, Genesis or any of that shit.
And, well, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm almost wondering if, like, you know, so, like Genesis or like kind of some of the weird background stuff that was introduced into Crisis Core doesn't have anything to do with these specters. And, well, and the fact that they look like ghosts, like my worst...
Like Dementors, basically.
Yeah, they kind of look like Dementors or something like that. Or like...
Here's Dragon.
Yeah, right? And, you know, like Sephiroth is kind of the ghost from Cloud's past that he has to overcome, right? I'm almost worried, too, that these things might have something to do with, like, Zack or Cloud's mother. I don't know. They're like the ghosts of the people who died. Well,
I mean, they were
or something.
Hunting Eris or Eris. I still want to call her Eris. I like that better.
Right. Well, but no, Zack was related to Eris too, so he was her boyfriend. True. So I don't know. Maybe that's like what it is. But
all right, this is the last piece of thing that's going to make me a monster.
Right.
Whoop. Boom.
The Psycho Armor. Whoa.
Psycho Armor. I'm a Psycho.
Shit.
I think these are like allusions to their Psycho Soldier story, because some of the names that are from that are recycled in this.
Max has gone psycho. All right.
Oh, Fallacious.
You're wounded.
Wait.
If only you'd been wearing.
I haven't seen her in a few episodes.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm also aware that there's people who've already beaten the game, which is kind of crazy to think about.
I'm starting to get it in my notifications where it's like, shut up, YouTube. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
I'm pretty good at, like, I'll see a picture of Cloud or something. It's like, okay, let me delete that real quick. But
like, so, like, you know, you can avoid the articles, but you can't always avoid the headlines. Like, one thing that I've been seeing, like, let's talk about the Shocker ending or something like that.
Oh, God,
and I'm like,
no.
Shocker ending? Shouldn't be much of a shocker. They escape Midgar, right? And,
yeah.
Or maybe
they do.
Like the positive way that I'm thinking about that is maybe they do something similar to what you and I were talking about, where they actually do take you to Calm, and the game does end with Cloud's flashback or something like that, because that'd be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
And I certainly, even though we've kind of wished for it, I wouldn't have seen it coming. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like, you know, after you like beat the final boss, like the whole ending of the game is just like a 2-hour long like sequence where you find out what happened at Nibelheim. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But, you know, because they say Shocker, I'm kind of thinking like fucking Genesis shows up or something.
Something crazy and stupid.
But you know, right now I'm enjoying it, and that's enough. Like, I'm seeing Midgar in a whole new way. The game is beautiful. It plays like a dream. The music is phenomenal. So far, so good, but there's definite, like, cracks in the foundation.
Yeah. And when it comes to the plot, like, I think when it comes to the plot, that's the biggest thing. And the I mean, not even the characters. I think, like, they've been pretty good so far. The introductions and where they're placing them, like Eris and Sephiroth especially, is unfortunate.
Yep.
Let's do Shield Ring. But as far as the gameplay is awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's nice and challenging too, for sure. Like, they're really making you like, hey, you can't just like these guys with the shields. It's like the fucking stormtrooper from with
you
the
have to roll back and hit him from behind
from Force Awakens.
Yeah,
where it's just like, oh, this is just a punk, and they're like, they're wrecking my shit.
That's awesome.
And the little assassin guys as well. Although I figured out really like counter is your friend, which I know it's probably just for Cloud, but I love the countering system.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's just like you got your. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's good to like certain enemies. It seems like we'll get closer to stagger,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Certain enemies will get closer to stagger, like if you do like the slow big attacks. But really, it's just like I'll mostly keep an operator mode, and then, ouch,
just to like close the gap and then start swinging.
And then if it's like an attack is coming, like you can just immediately hit triangle in R1, and it'll work out fine, you know. Let's get out of here.
So like, one thing I'll say is I kind of went for broke on the side quests once they were, because I was just so enthralled with Midgar and the slums. And I was a little bit over leveled for a while. Like things were a little too easy for a couple of hours, but once you get into the train tunnels, there's a couple bosses and like kind of big group encounters that if you're around like level 13 or 14, you're going to go back to having a decent challenge. But for a little bit, you're kind of over leveled, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because the game just like puts these side quests there, and it's like, don't you want to do them? It's like, I do want to do them.
Especially if they're good side quests. Like, what do you expect from me?
They actually are. They're really good because the reward for them, I mean, yeah, they give you some like gil and materia and stuff, but you also get to learn more about the world and about Cloud, and you know, it's fun.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to go down these paths. There's like these two... Actually, you know what? I will, for fun.
You know what? Fuck it.
I'm
a psycho. I'm a fucking psycho.
I'm a psycho now.
I'm Psycho Max.
These things will kill me immediately, though. Like, in a second.
Even with the psycho armor. Oh god.
I got all this magic. I don't even care.
Tight.
I don't even have to keep on these things anymore. I'll just... Oh, cool. Now they do that.
Well, good, because they're not going to let you stay on them.
There's a path to the left and right that do like this big thing, and you go down all of this, and they lead to just nothing.
For fucking
like real. What is okay? Yeah, that's right.
That's great.
And it's
just there's no reason to kill anything because you're
and the other one's like a skeleton or something, or nothing, and it's just like it's the same kind of room. It's like, really? So yeah, this place you just go straight.
Level 16 is such an arbitrary level to stop.
Like you said, I think it's like we wanted to add more. This is about like the cartridge limit or something.
Right.
Let's see. A little bit of freshy fresh. Okay.
But yeah, those are kind of my early impressions of the game. You know, like what I'm liking, I'm really liking, and what I'm not liking is deeply troubling.
Yeah, the story, of course, is like the main reason we play.
Right.
For sure, the gameplay is awesome. I love that. The biggest thing aside from the gameplay, I'll say, is the game is beautiful.
Yeah, it's just
and Midgar is beautiful. Yeah.
And you know, it's so crazy. The other thing that I really admire about the direction they took with the graphics was, and they didn't have to do this, even though like everything is, you know, completely like new and fresh and like full 3D, no pre-rendered backgrounds and everything. They still you can tell paid very, very close attention to the pre-rendered backgrounds. And like for instance, when you get to the slums, like the train graveyard is right where it was on the PlayStation 1 in relation to the train, and the towers right in between.
I noticed that as soon as I got off the train.
Yeah,
and that
everything
was
is like where you would expect it to be. Even
Yeah.
though it's in a 3D space now.
And even the slums, when you get there, like I know they're a bit expanded, but I feel like they could have easily made it bigger, and they like made a purposeful choice not to, in order to kind of keep the original feel of it there.
Mm-hmm. And you probably have you seen like the beginner's hall? It looks just like it did, and that's the other thing too. Like some of the like. Even like the buildings themselves, like when there's like really iconic interiors, like for instance the train or Seventh Heaven, they actually look exactly like they did on the PS1. They're laid out the exact same way. Yeah,
that's really and that's must have been kind of hard actually, you know, to make sure in a 3D space that they just like we kind of translated it perfectly.
Yeah,
you know,
like Seventh Heaven in particular, like they could have made it like a big bustling bar. They could have had a balcony and like some like extra rooms for Cloud to stay in or something like that, but no, they just kept it like this dingy little dive.
Yeah, It's I was a little disappointed. Like, okay, I get that they never showed the apartments in the original game, and so it's like, okay, that totally makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, where's my drink? Like,
Yeah. Right.
I wanted that.
You'll get to that. Don't worry.
Okay, good. All right.
Like I said, they really seem to have gone out of their way. Like, for the parts that are faithful to the original, it's almost like to a fault. Like, they just really were working on recapturing. Is this the final boss?
Let's say it is. I really do consider this the final boss for sure.
Because right now we've been talking about FF7, but here's Crystalis trying its best to impress us.
It is an impressive game for sure. I was enthralled watching Jim play this when I was a kid.
Yeah, holy shit, what is this guy? And why aren't you attacking him?
Because I can't yet.
I see.
He has to show his heart to me.
I gotcha.
And he refuses to. Wow.
Because he's a bitch.
He is. He's a punk bitch. Well, thankfully, all these things on the screen slow it down for me a bit.
Yeah, right? You've entered slow-mo. Wow, his mouth looks like a big old vagina. Nice hit.
Alright, let's see.
That level 3 Thunder Sword is,
oh my god. It's
a little OP.
It's the greatest. It is a little OP.
Do you even have to aim it at him?
No, I don't have to aim it.
That's awesome.
The Thunder Sword is the greatest.
Clearly. I like the stark yellow background, too. Holy shit.
Right? There's just nothing else going on.
Right? You've just been transplanted to the surface of the sun.
Alright, dude, come on.
What he doesn't know about you, though, is that you're a psycho. He, like, rips his head off and shits down his neck, and...
Not hitting me with that. It's a game over if that hits me.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Wow, poor bastard. Oh, twice. Oh, my. Well.
Alright, that's it.
That's Crystalis, huh? I mean, clearly there's something else, but...
We're almost there.
I love how they just transported his corpse there.
And it looks like King Dedede. It's Azteca, but...
A little bit, yeah.
Good job for defeating me.
Son. I'm taking a very long time to die. I'm in excruciating pain. They cut off my balls. Did I tell you that? They got my balls. They didn't have to, but they did.
Yeah. That's why I went evil.
That's why I went evil.
Turns out you need your balls.
That's the line between good and evil. Testicles.
I'm sorry, Kensu. You were the greatest of the wise men.
But you cut off my balls.
Fucking thanks. That's a total Kensu move.
That's a Kensu move, yeah. Fuck you, old man. I ain't sorry.
Flacius. I'm not... Oh, it's Messia. Okay. Not much time. You can tell they really had to shorten this for the text boxes. It's unfortunate.
I'll take you to the tower.
I'm not even controlling him at this point.
Oh, this is just straight Final Fantasy now.
Okay, yeah, I can't go back. Here, because I don't want to waste the MP.
Just in case.
I have full MP. Oh, okay, they just won't let you. I want to talk to the wise men and see, maybe get some more story. Guess that doesn't happen. All right, let's keep refresh on.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fuck it. Let's do the warrior ring.
Nice.
I love this.
Fucking go.
And I think.
Oh wow, is this like a whole extra dungeon?
Oh yeah, but it's super short.
Oh okay.
So we're good.
Oh my god.
So now I'm on the tower.
Wow, those things are durable.
Yeah. Oh, the enemies here suck.
I can see that.
So I'm just gonna keep refresh on and not even take risks. Because I got a lot of magic now stored up.
They all seem to be weak to lightning, which is nice.
Yeah, good thing they're machines.
But boy, they are damage sponges.
They are. And the whole thing is like, I mean, I'm not gaining any more levels, but you have to kill everything to move on.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I can see this sucking if you came unprepared or like with no magic. Like if you thought that was the final boss and you just blew your load.
Right? Oh, yeah, right.
Do they like give you an opportunity to go back there?
No.
No, you're just
So
you're
you're
in
pretty
for a
much
penny, you're in
screwed.
for a pound, huh?
But the thing is, you can't save either. So if you are screwed at this point, well, then at least you go back to your last save point.
Oh my god. So, but on the flip side, if you beat that dungeon and then that boss and then you die right here.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
Oh my
you
god.
you can't save in dungeons. It's only in towns or in the field. Oh,
Fortunately, you have the mystical save state function,
Oh yeah.
which makes you the true hero.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great,
So
like,
basically,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
I was
I
gonna
was
say, wouldn't it be
just
great
gonna
the psycho armor, like, actually makes him a psycho? Like, all of these, like,
It's
things
just
that they're
berserk.
saying to him, like, he doesn't process it at all. He's just here to kill. You know, like, that's... That's the trade-off. You know, on the one hand, the world is saved, but at what cost?
I'm the new evil.
Yeah, right, you're the new evil because of the goddamn psycho armor.
This tower's not enough to oppress evil. Only Fallacious can.
It's just one evil god killing another. Sorry, you were
Actually,
saying.
that was the original name of this game in Japan. It was like Godslayer Sonata of a Faraway Land, or Sky Sonata of a
Really?
Faraway Land, or something like that. Yeah.
I love how
So-
poetic, like, Japanese game names are.
I know, right? Because they could fit a whole lot. They could fit a whole story in like 3 characters.
Right. Oh, good
Oh
times.
my god.
So what were you saying before I cut you off?
Oh, basically, so they're explaining like, okay, me and Mezia were like scientists, and we were like the key components of this tower, creating it. So that's why we went into cryogenesis, is to kind of.
But
the
your
whole point
character's
of
a
this tower-
scientist?
Oh yeah.
God,
Even
you're like
though
the
now I
original
have- now I'm
Gordon
a
Freeman.
sorcerer. Sorcery and science.
Before there was Half-Life, there was Crystalis.
Yeah.
Dude,
But,
Half-Life would be a fun one to do on this channel sometime.
Oh yeah, it would.
You ever play that? Or Half-Life
yeah.
2,
Oh my-
really, is the better.
Yeah. Actually, I actually never beat Half-Life 2, which
Really?
is kind of a stain on my record. Yeah, beat Half-Life back in the not when it first came out. I played it when it first came out, but that was like one main computer for the brothers,
Right.
and
Well,
that
both
was not
games
for
were
the
really
youngest.
revolutionary for their time, too.
Yeah. Oh my god, as far as like cutscenes and narrative in a first-person shooter, yeah, that was. Oh yeah, by the way, the the guy that controlled the Wise Men that was infected by Dragon was also just a robot.
Oh, of course. Why the
A
hell
robot that we created to like hopefully steer the world away from nuclear weapons.
not? We failed.
But that's like, this tower is here because it's like, hey, it's going to activate. It's here with all these weapons
Yeah.
because it's like, hey, if any of you try to like go back to science and like start stockpiling nukes or do anything like that, this is the most powerful nation. It's basically this tower up here. So it's like, nah, don't try that.
Oh, I got you.
Dragon was obviously someone who wanted to take the power for himself and started using science again, making metal and things like that, which is why you see the towns getting closer to. Actually, it's almost like the towns getting closer to the Empire are more well off in a way.
Yeah.
People kind of hate Dragon, most of them. Some of them are just like, no, he's cool.
But they'll use his Apple computers.
Yeah, right. So now we're here. Now that the tower's like really activated, we're here to be like, okay, is humanity? Do they deserve to live, or do they got to be wiped out?
Yeah.
And we're here to be like, okay, no, we can. They're on a different path, so now we got to destroy the tower.
Nice.
But of course, why wouldn't it be like, no, I'm your master? Like, why do I got to kill these things? They don't do a good job explaining that, but
He went through the coding and reprogrammed in each and every one of them individually.
why was I programmed to feel pain?
Right? But yeah, so Half-Life 2, even on today's standards, that's not a bad looking game. Half-Life 2 has aged surprisingly well.
Yeah. Half-Life, yeah. The original Half-Life, I mean, they have the Source version, which looks pretty good. Oh,
But
wow.
apparently that just got a remake, didn't it? Black Mesa?
Oh, Black Mesa, yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That would be fun to play, too.
Yeah.
And is it like a full-fledged game now? Does that have Valve's blessing? Because I thought that started as like a fan project.
I actually think it does. I'm not positive about that, but Valve also doesn't seem like, I mean, who knows? But they don't seem like the type to like shut something like that down.
No, Valve's whole thing is like being really open with the fans.
Yeah, and it looks like a really good like redo of it.
Yeah, from what I've seen, so that might be kind of like the definitive way to play that game. Then if it's complete, which I assume it is because they're charging full money for it.
Yeah, it is. Oh, they're charging for it. Then it must have their blessing. Hey, there we go.
Pretty sure
There's
they're
the name.
charging. Oh, tight. They combined all the swords into one.
Yep.
Sweet. That's where the title comes from there.
Okay.
It does nothing. Unfortunately, it does nothing.
Dinah. There's the boss of the game. Stick Crystalis. I feel like this is some kind of allusion to something. I don't know. All right, let's just blow through my magic rings, which...
Do it.
This is going to be the last one I use, really. I just wanted to be prepared.
Right.
All right. Oh, now I just have one power-up. Oh, wait a second.
What does it actually do?
I don't know why it's not working right now. It's just a huge ball of energy.
Oh, okay. Hadouken!
Yeah, basically.
I don't know, I kind of would have rather you got to stick with the Sword of Thunder's ultimate.
I know, right? Yeah, because that's just a screen fill. Like...
I just kind of sit back and watch the Knights of the Round decimate your enemies.
Yeah, the Warrior Ring is definitely like the most OP in this game. But there's a lot of stuff I don't use, like that little bunny that gave me Dio's pendant.
Yeah.
If I equip this, it just recharges your MP if you stay still.
Huh, that's kind of
cool.
So
even if I ran out of this stuff, I could sit here and be like, okay, let me recharge.
You can make that happen, yeah.
Yeah, so they give you a lot at the end. So,
that's
but good. It's the one thing, the shield ring, I've had that for a while. That could have made, I mean, I didn't have it with General Kibasa, but after that, everyone else could have been like a real breeze. But...
You were just a little too stupid to make that.
Whoops.
So, and that actually reminded me of something else that I was gonna say.
Yeah.
The summons. So, like, I was joking about Knights of the Round. Did you get your pre-order code from Amazon?
I got 2 of them, yeah. I don't know what...
I did not.
One's supposed to be the... Oh, no? In your email?
No. Like, it was Sarah's email, but I, like, checked every email she's had from Amazon for the last, like, 6 months, and nothing showed up, which is...
Wow.
She pre-ordered it in February, so... Maybe I was too late? I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean...
Wow.
That was easy.
Was that it?
That was it.
That was it. All right, Crystalis is accomplished. Check that out. Thrust it into the reactor, Max. Dun 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 dun.
Don't let it be known that I don't know how to make love to a reactor.
Oh my god, you fucked it so hard it's blowing up. You weren't supposed to do that.
That's right. Why would you do that? This isn't science.
Oh no, this isn't science at all.
How was I supposed to know?
This is psychoscience, baby.
Time to leave.
Time to leave. I got mine. Now it's time to leave.
God.
Screw what happens to everything else. Oh shit.
Hey.
This legendary conflict, along with the people's despair, have ultimately ended. Forever. Nothing will ever go wrong again.
That's right. Unfortunately, no Crystalis 2.
Yeah, right? So really, this was it. This was like the world's one conflict, and you just finished it.
They re-released it on... actually, Nintendo owns the rights now. They bought the rights from SNK.
Oh, is that right?
Only to re-release a really shitty port on the Game Boy Color.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, that was in the year 2000. They changed the music, which I love the music in this game, and they just made it garbage.
Oh, wow.
The screen is way too small, like smaller than a CRT, so... You know, the dragons with the like bull whips and stuff, like they will totally attack you off screen.
Oh
like,
god.
It's so unfair.
That's the worst.
And it definitely still slows down, you know. The NES version did too. And worst of all, they like took out certain parts. Like I'm pretty sure the tower, oh no, the tower is still there. I think you do the tower first and then you like beat the Emperor at the end. He's like already in his dragon form, and it's stupid, you know. They really changed it around, so this is definitely the superior version. Although I'd love if they, you know, re-release this, or if there was like a good fans translation out there.
Yeah.
Which you still get the majority of the story, but I think it's a little more clear if it's just like, hey, nuclear war devastated. Like they don't really. They say the tower's there to oppress evil forever, but you really gotta do some digging to kind of realize why it's there and what it's all about. So
I love how these NES and SNES games end. Just done.
Yeah, yep.
That's
it's like there's your it's all about the journey, not about the destination so much in these games. Really gameplay over everything, which hey, it's a fun game to play.
Dude, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad I finally got to see this.
Yeah, it's a great one. One of the greats on the NES. So
very cool.
Yeah, like just a good Zelda game. Is what I think about it. A good Zelda game with RPG elements.
Oh man.
Less puzzle, more just like the fighting aspects of Zelda, which in that respect they improved upon the first Zelda game greatly.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
And having the RPG elements there. The only thing is like the dungeons they're not like puzzle based. They're more like don't get lost based, you know.
Well, I was gonna say on the NES Zelda game though, neither were their dungeons. I mean,
their puzzles were push this and destroy the enemies. You know?
Right. Like the modern staples of Zelda that we enjoy now really didn't show up until A Link to the Past.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, because it was like that, and then there was the pure action side scroller, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right. Well, hey, this was a fun ride.
Yeah, that's a good. I'm glad you were able to see it for the first time with me.
Indeed. Well, next time on Play the Hits, we've got more. Next time we've got more Ocarina of Time, and we'll have to find another secondary project as well.
Oh yeah, I think we got some things in the works.
Oh yeah, we've got a few pots in the kettle, or what's that phrase?
I have no idea.
Whatever, I'm gonna go out on that. We'll see you next time.
All right, see you then.
See ya.